Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here for you with a spoiler-free movie review of the horror thriller Antebellum. Before we start, please don't forget to subscribe. That's down here, just one click on that red button. And if you click on the bell next to it, you will be notified every time that I upload. First, let's start with the synopsis. Successful author Veronica Henley finds herself trapped in a horrifying reality and must uncover the mind-bending mystery before it's too late. After seeing the trailer in the cinemas, I was very hyped for this movie. First off, they advertised this movie with Get Out and Us. But this is not a Jordan Peele movie, sadly. I can't wait for a new movie from Jordan Peele. Antebellum starts off very strong with a beautiful one take and dramatic music. This caught my attention straight away. But sadly, I have to say this movie doesn't stay as strong as their opening shots kind of promises the audience. But if this movie review was only about the camera work, I would give Antebellum easily a 10 out of 10. Because this movie is truly visually stunning. The camera work is just... every shot is well made, well lit. I loved every take. Also, the acting of this movie was great. Especially the protagonist in this movie, she did so well. Played by Janelle Monáe. The only problem, and it's a very important one, the only problem is the storyline. Although the message of this movie is great and it has great timing coming out right now, it's very relevant about the Black Lives Matter movement. But although the message is great, if I look at it as a movie, it has a lot of flaws. I'm not going to spoil anything about the storyline, but I do need to give a little bit of information why I didn't like it. But if you have seen the trailer, this is not a spoiler. If you see the trailer, you know this movie is set in two time periods. The old time period looks very well and also feels very thought out. I personally would have loved if they just stayed in this time period, because this felt the most like strong and most believable and thought out. And I would have loved if they stayed in this time period till the end, because after all the suspense and build up, we come to an abrupt halt and we start the second time period. And this period doesn't feel as believable or thought out. And it even had like a knockoff Get Out best friend. It was kind of awkward. It didn't fit in this movie at all. It just feels very out of place, and there is nothing against the actress that plays that friend. She's actually very good and very funny, but it just doesn't make sense in this movie. It just ruins the whole vibe, the suspense. It just abruptly stops and we get this weird kind of comedy stuff from these friends, and it slows down the whole movie and it takes away a lot of what they built with the first part of this movie. This second part actually really made me sad because I was loving the visuals, I was loving where they were taking this movie, and then that happened. If we take a step back a little bit, the first period also had villains that really didn't feel like real people. Because they never get a second layer, they're just evil. We don't really get aspects that made them feel more like actual people instead of characters, because they feel very one-dimensional, like I'm the bad guy, I'm just pure evil, there's nothing more to me. And I personally think if they just skipped the middle part and in that part just made the villains more believable and give them a little bit of a second layer, just give them a little bit more, the ending would have had such a big payoff. The final act would have been way more important and would have felt, more satisfying to watch. And because they stay one-dimensional, you don't really care all that much when they start talking in the end and stuff. You're just like, yeah, you're the bad guy, I know, it's fine. I can see what they tried to do with the layout and the time jumping, but I have to say it didn't work in this movie. It actually kind of failed in my opinion. Still, I do need to say this is a stunning movie to look at and great acting, and I really hope these filmmakers do come back with another movie and learn from the mistakes they made in this one. Because all the technical aspects of this movie were 10 out of 10, and that's actually why I'm so disappointed that they didn't didn't hold up the storyline. Like the first part of this movie I was in love, and that's why I'm actually so disappointed with the second half and some of the choices they made throughout this movie, because I do think they had something great here, but they didn't know how to execute it well. Overall, Antebellum is a beautifully filmed movie about a great subject. Sadly, the story fell through at some points. I will give Antebellum an 8 out of 10 just for the storyline. I would have loved to give this a 10 out of 10 if you look at the visuals. And the first part of the movie is a 10 out of 10, but they just really dropped the ball. So that's why they get an 8 out of 10. That was my review of the movie Antebellum. Did you see it? What did you think about it? Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. That's down here. It's just one click on that red button, and then you'll see everything I upload on this channel of movie reviews, unboxings and other spooky content. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!